Good day, everyone. Welcome to the 8th International Conference on Development and Investment in Africa in Infrastructure, DII 2022. My name is Medayese. I'm presenting this paper, Spatio-Temporal Variance, Infrastructure and Urban Development Drive in Minna, North Central Nigeria, on behalf of my co-authors, Professor Magidimisha-Chipungu, Mutsaa, and Professor Chipungu from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Rapid urbanization in African cities has put enormous strain on these cities' ability to support their residents' infrastructure and service needs. This rapid urbanization cross-current has accelerated how man uses space for various human activities. Because of this scenario, land use land cover change has become a significant problem in many cities. Therefore, the paper sought to analyze the land use land cover changes in the city of Minna. Between 1999 and 2019. The research also simulated the land use land cover changes in Minna for 10 years between 2019 and 2029. A research methodology. The research is based on primary data collected through direct field survey and imagery processing for the purpose of understanding the factors that underpins the spatial changes in the city of Minna and the distribution of urban infrastructure in the city. The research used the past images of city as a basis for simulation of the 2029 land use land cover changes of the city through the use of the Mollusca add-on on QGIS and analyzing the path algorithm using artificial neural network. Given the assumptions that roads, nature of terrain, and other infrastructure installations defines the direction of city growth. Our analysis. Growth analysis of Minna city from 1999 to 2029. The centralization of government activities, migration of civil servants to new ministries is some of the factors that led to the growth of the city and expansion of the cityscape, which is a 1,177% change from its original size in 1976 within the space of 23 years. That is, the city actually expanded from 476.4 hectares in 1976 to 5,501.4 hectares in 1999. Now, when we look at the growth projection and analysis of the city of Minna by 2029, it is predicted that based on the growth pattern and estimate, it is observed that barring any unforeseen circumstances, the growth of the city is going to increase on built-up area, and there will be shrinking of the bare land in the city by 2029. The analysis also shows that the vegetal cover and bare grounds will be reduced to about 45,687.2 hectares, reducing about 76.9% of the total spatial extent of the city. The growth and projection analysis also shows that based on the estimation, the spatial growth is projected to continue uncoordinated through the primary APN of the city infrastructure provision, and the continuous quest for housing space as dictated by urbanization and population expansion. And here we have the images of the city showing the image and the spatial extent of the city in 1999, 2009, 2019, and the simulation of 2029. Land use changes between 1999 and 2029, which would be observable. Land use changes between 2009 and 2019. The total built-up areas increased by 4.0%. The vegetal cover, bare ground, shrunk by 3.8%, and the water body was also observed to shrink by 0.2% within a 10-year period. The extension of infrastructure such as roads, schools, hospitals, and commercial activities have played a significant role in this city expansion and the shrinking of the vegetal cover of the city. This will continue to play roles in terms of this infrastructure, will continue to play a role as the development is concentrated in the capital city at the expense of neighboring towns in the state. Another factor is the spillover effect of population explosion in the federal capital city, looking at the various factors that have influenced the urban growth in the city. Infrastructure provision and characteristics in the city of Minna. The infrastructure examined are education, health, commercial, recreation, place of worship, and transport infrastructure. The analysis of the observation of the educational and healthcare infrastructure as some of the factors of urban livelihood indicated a variation in the structural condition of this infrastructure. Transportation infrastructure analysis of the city of Minna shows an exemplary layout of road infrastructure in the city. As a form of discussion, according to the depicted growth pattern, the city appears to be encroaching on every side. That is both the north towards Mekunkele axis, the south towards the Federal Capital Territory, the east towards Kaduna axis, and the west towards the Bida axis. You discover that this growth pattern keeps moving on every side, uncoordinated. Extending infrastructure such as roads, schools, hospitals, and commercial activities have played a significant role in this expansion. Another factor is the spillover effect of population expansion in the city. Conclusively, the city of Minna depicts an urban environment without proper planning and standards while providing opportunity for livable city. The city is increasing and providing critical infrastructure, but spatial distribution is lopsided. The provision of educational infrastructure is left in the hand of private entrepreneurs who provide a better infrastructure to residents. The effect of this is that the cost of training young ones is becoming exorbitant and taking literacy beyond the reach of urban residents. Conclusively, in terms of recommendation, it is important that the scale of priority in terms of infrastructure provision be increased towards urban residents in the city. In the city, it is also important that the maintenance of this infrastructure should be left in the hands of the city manager and the school management. Thank you very much for listening.